So basically, run my harness through like this, runs all the way down, up around, right here, use a little factory connector, comes up through here, and it runs down this into here, which then runs all the way up here to the main fuse box. The reason why I ran it this way is just because on his car, he ran his down here, all the way down the loop, all the way down here, and then you mount it right here, which is a great spot. But having a cage, you're gonna have front intrusion bars right here, and I didn't want to have everything mounted and beautiful, and then when I do the cage, I'd have to move it. I just didn't want to do that. So basically, you just run that, run your wires, and then on his car, he runs it through the actual the frame, which is small enough. It's really decent small cable, just run right here. I decided to just do the where the factory one comes out, it pops out. You can see right here, it pops out, and then comes up on this little lip that runs right here, and then basically I have it wrapped right here, and then it wraps all the way over there. Alright, I'm going to go over the actual colors of the wires. So if you're doing this on a 91 Nissan 240SX like I did it, it makes it extremely easy. You just got to listen to what I say and connect the leads where they're supposed to be. So basically your driver rear, your brake light wire is going to be red with a green stripe, your turn signal is going to be green with a black stripe, and your running is going to be red with a blue stripe, as you can see. And you basically just, he has everything labeled, so it says like brake right there, and then it says turn and tail. Really simple. And so your passenger rear wires now are going to be brake light, or your brake switch is going to be red with a green stripe, your turn signal is going to be green with yellow, and your running is going to be red with blue again. And then if you come over here, for your wiper circuit, so on the S13 it's a ground side switch. So basically, pop this out for you guys. So on your harness, on the wiper part, you actually have to just switch. See this black and red wire? You just switch them, and then I'll give you the wire colors to do your wiper circuit, which is right here. So your wiper colors, so your AUDIX2 is going to go to straight tan. Your wiper low is going to go with black with, or tan with a black stripe, and your high, basically for your wipers, is going to be tan with a red stripe. So pretty simple. And then you got your brake light actual switch. It's right there. You see it says brake switch. It's just gonna be that red with green. You basically just hook one side up to and the other one to that one. It's pretty simple, because since it's not running all the way back, it just runs to his fuse panel. And then so I have aftermarket front lights. So my aftermarket lights, these are just some eBay with some HIDs that have high and low. They were like 50, 60 bucks or something like that. Super cheap. So mine, your high beams is just red, your black is ground obviously, and then your low beams is white. So basically hook that in. I don't have the lights for the turn signals yet, but it's pretty simple. You just hook up power and ground. This is power, the one he gives you, which says turn signal. And so my HIDs only have one connection and it runs both lights. But if you were to have like a stock S13, you would just hook up this side right here. And this is what I was talking about, how he has everything labeled really nice. You know, low beam, high beam, turn signal. Super simple, and you got your ground. It's just black. Super simple, and his wires are actually a lot stronger than like any other kit I've come with or come in contact with. So super good wires. Works pretty well. I like it a lot. And he's super chill. He worked with me to make sure I had everything. Oh yeah, your fuel. So your main power wire right here, power to fuel, is going to be blue, or white with a blue stripe. Your ground is going to be black and this blue right here, or it might be purple, I don't know. that's one thing that got me. It was just I actually had to pull out the tank to look at it. And then your fuel sensor or fuel sender level is this yellow right here, which then would go to that. But it's a pretty nice kit, man. I'm not at all mad about it. I'm actually super stoked that I ended up buying one. Thanks, Wind. Sit down on the chassis. You just turn your ignition on, boom, and all my gauges light up with that. I decided to run a custom basic cluster just because I didn't want to have to wire in the stock one. Since my car is aftermarket, I'm going with the 1JZ. Just thought it'd be easier to do this. Plus, I get to have like all the gauges I actually want. Plus, I can trust versus like the stock gauges. But yeah, it's pretty sick. So you get your low beams. You can see the rear lights lit up, and then you got the turn signal, and it clicks and everything. Super dope. Here I'll show you guys what the wipers actually look like. Move the solder. So these are what your low speed is, and that's your high speed. So it's pretty sick. And then this also is the main power too. So if you're like, you're running low beams, fan, fuel, say you get your turn signals on and you're like, oh, there's a fire or something, kills everything. So there's nothing powered on, that the harness is off, which is really cool because if you think of like the art panel is always hooked up to power, and I've heard many stories of guys, leaving their drift cars for a while and then they go to start them up and they're dead because the art panel was connected still and it kills it. Now, I know a lot of dudes just either put it through a switch or something like that, but you have to do something different. This kit, basically, you get your fucking beautiful panel, you get this beautiful wiring, you get to remove all the chassis wiring, you connect, it'd probably take you like maybe an hour to connect all the connections and lay the harness in. If you were going like decently quick, it took me, like one good full day to actually have the harness laid in and do everything up. I just now finally kind of got everything where I kind of want it. I thought I would give you guys an insight onto what my car is, and yeah, dude, I'm pretty stoked. I really like the fact that it just looks good. You see all the gauges flick on. I don't know. That's just, to me, that's really sick. And for an I think art panel was like $350 or $400, and they just give you the panel and some wires. Like, this comes with the whole harness. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, I looked at the same type of kit. There's dudes selling kits for $1,500, $1,600, $1,700, and they don't even come with like the full wiring. Like his, you just hook up. It's real simple. You just keep the stock plugs and you just hook them up. It's not even, to me, it's not hard. Wiring is pretty simple. But basically the car is pretty dirty right now. Basically, that's where she sits. Yeah, I will. So basically, this is going to just be a recap of my experience with the actual harness itself. The quality of everything is super good. It's not some cheap crap. Like, he didn't cut corners when he made this harness. It's actually good quality parts. All the connections are super good. I've pulled them apart multiple times to change my setup or to move something so I can, get around the car and do other things on it, and they come out nice and easy. Lock back in. It's got weather stripping on all this, like the main components that you need weather stripping on, so you don't have to worry about wires corroding over time. It's a waterproof fuse box, even though it's inside the car, but if you get some water in the car, it's not gonna cause it to like short circuit or anything like that. And for the price you pay for this harness, I think it's totally worth it. You basically take out the OEM chassis harness, you lay this one in, you connect it where it's supposed to be, and the car works. And I was trying to build a track car, but still have the streetability to go on the road. And this harness gives me everything I need. And it runs just the basics which you need to have. You know, you got your power, your grounds for the engine, you got your ignition, all that fun stuff. But it's got wipers, turn signals, and lights, which allows you to still go out if you want to take the car to your friends or something like that. You can. I'm super stoked that I bought it. I got my harness within 1 week of ordering it. To me, that's awesome. I thought I was gonna have to wait, like a month or something like that, but 1 week, and it'd probably take you a couple hours to install. You just gotta cut the OEM chassis harness right where those, like the tail lights and stuff. So you use the OEM chassis connectors, and you just wire it in. Everything is labeled, which I thought was pretty cool. Like on the tail lights, it will say like tail, brake, and turn signal. And as long as you connect them to the right wires, your system's going to work. And to me, for what I'm building a Pro-Am drift car. This was perfect. So if you're on like the verge of maybe you might get it, maybe you might not, because he's pretty new. My experience, go for it. It's good harness, good quality, really easy to like install. And I've seen other harnesses of somewhat the same similar caliber go for $1,500, $1,600, $1,700 when this harness goes for the amount he has listed, which is super good. I was originally going to get an arc panel, but you still have to you have to make your own wires to run to certain things for the arc panel. This harness has the switch panel and comes with all the wires, so you really don't have to get anything else. The only thing I truly had to buy was some heat shrink, some solder, and that's it. And basically I installed the whole harness. So overall, super happy. If you guys decide to get one, hopefully this video helps you install it.